When I was a graduate student, I was at Arizona State, and Bert Hölldobler was on faculty there at the time, and he's the famous ant researcher. Bert did two things that I thought were hilarious. I mean, scientifically brilliant person, no doubt. At every department seminar that we had, so it could be a talk about marine ecology or bivalves or paleobiology. Any talk, he always was one of the first people to ask a question and always asked about ants, always connected that
Uh,
person's like very sophisticated, technical, specialized biology research. He made a connection to ants, and by asking a question about ants, I think he would help to push them further in their field, and also made their work more relevant to those of us in the audience, like studying ants. That was like a fun quirk that he did. He also was asked once, or I think many times, what is different about human society and ant society, and what can we learn from them? And he was always quick to remark that ants get rid of their males very fast.
uh.
Male ants have wings generally, and they fly and they mate, and that's the end of the story for males in ant society. Just to be clear, he's like,
Yeah.
maybe we shouldn't follow the path of the ants, but ants are so abundant. They're absolutely abundant. They're under the ground everywhere we go. They're not super species rich. There are probably 100 times more, maybe 200 times more beetle species than ant species
Interesting.
on the planet. But ants themselves, by their biomass, are way more abundant. And so it means there's fewer species. We can get to know them in a way that would be hard to get to know all of the beetles. And then I think we can, sort of recognize them where we go and what kind of ants and what sort of life histories, and what sort of stories they might be telling us. And then sort of think about our own society and what sort of stories are there within the city, what's happening as far as elections and struggle for freedoms and liberties and voting and decision making. Those are things ants do. So we can relate to them, and maybe use that lens to sort of look back on our own choices and how we interact with each other.